Hey y'all, it's Indigo here, coming at you with round two. This is week 4 of season 2 of Grand Arena Championships. Let's take a look at the board here. I was up against a tough match this go round. My opponent set similar things to what I set, but I think I set more tricks than he did in my own defense, and surprisingly, he was pretty efficient. I went through and cleared his defenses first. He's got some separatists and some bounty hunters. So we'll start off by using imps to take off the bounty hunters, get those out of there, and try and get a quick 60 points. He had bays in there for a pre-taunt, but with the way my imp troopers are set up, they're set up so that the second person to go is going to be Death Trooper, and he'll just throw his grenade to dispel the taunt. And that way everyone that comes after him, you can just target the next squishiest character and focus down who you want and not be stuck behind a pre-taunt. And then, of course, Snow with the AoE, he's got real heavy damage, so he can get to him even when you can't focus down them. So, done with that. Quick 60. Nice to get one of those right off the bat. This was a team I was a little bit worried about, but you can see with the CLS team, it's not too bad. He's got Nest on there. I always worry about the Nest teams. I know you got to do some pretty heavy damage, and that's why I like taking Wampa with my CLS trio. And also because I know that Wampa and Chopper won't interfere with guard, so that CLS will still end up with guard. You definitely want him to have that and not, have it given to another character accidentally, because that can throw off your whole battle when Chewbacca's not getting all those extra assist attacks in. Work on Nest a little bit here. Try and get Nest out as soon as I can. Got her down the yellow. And can't do anything to Droideka, but took out Nest. And can't do anything to Jango. That damage immunity can really get you. But you just got to wait for that to wear off, like right there. And I can finally start taking him out. There's nothing I can do to heal up, though, with this team. That's probably the only drawback. So you take what you can get. 56 banners for that. Like I said, it is what it is. At least I cleared it. Back there and back is probably his hardest area. He's got General Skywalker-led clones, and he's got G11, and then he's got a Grievous team with Wat in there as the 5th. And Wat seems to make it much harder. You got to go about it a little bit differently. Otherwise, you could be in some real trouble once those techs get out on the board. Make things pretty difficult for you. But let's go ahead and do the other zone, and that way I can see what he's got up top. I don't know if there's a Padme back there or what he might be setting. So I didn't want to burn my Traya on this. I put in my Jawas because he had pretty weak Geos. Only 2 of them were Gear 13, just Relic 1, and that's not too bad for Jawas to handle. You can see Scavenger's still alive. They went after him a little bit, but he's still doing pretty good. He's not going to die, and they're stacking up plenty of bombs. I went ahead and sped everybody up to see if I could go ahead and get a hit off on my Scavenger. That way he'll go into stealth just to make sure that he survives. And he did. So he's in stealth, and bombs are popping. And I'll do his last one. And 49 banners for that. It's not great efficiency, but it gets through and it saves a top team for, like I said, you don't know what's in back. And I know his back zone on the other is going to take 2 of my top teams if I don't mess up. And already, since I used my imp troopers against his bounty hunters, I got to use my Padme to take out his Night Sisters. They're the safest bet right now, because of all the protection up and not being able to be debuffed, and they've got enough healing. I don't have to worry about any kind of plague or stuns or anything like that. It's much easier to deal with Padme as a Night Sister counter than almost any other team. It sucks when Asajj heals and clears off all your protection, but there's enough mechanics in there where you can just kind of put it right back when somebody gets to go. And I got my Jedi Knight Anakin, Relic 7. He hits nice and hard, which is great. You'll see that coming up here in a little bit. I'm working on getting some of the free revives out of the way. Check that out. AoE clears the board. So didn't get to heal up much, but 55 banners for that. One AoE from my Jedi Anakin, and he cleared the table for me. Unfortunately, he's got 2 weak squads in the back. Just a regular Karth team and then some scoundrels. Obviously without Nest, because I already killed her. So I wished I would have seen something a bit harder in there, because that'd be that much less that he has for offense. And I was really worried about his efficiency, being able to, one-shot me and take my teams down. So I'm using EP team with my Dark Side Bastila, because if you've seen my other videos, I mentioned that she's a good addition to this team. She speeds it up quite a bit. And this time I left off Shore Trooper, went in Underman so I could make progress on the feet. And you see that she puts down so many debuffs that it just constantly fuels the turn meter train, and I can pretty much do what I want. Took out L3 there. I'm working on taking out Han and Chewie so that they don't bring anybody back. Throw some ability blocks down so at least I don't have to worry about that right now. But you can see my team's turn meter is constantly full, and they haven't even gotten to go, really. So that's all I'm trying to do, is make sure I can go and throw down enough debuffs. Everybody's stunned, not moving, not doing anything. And now I just got to clean it up here. Plenty of debuffs out there, plenty of turn meter. But nothing I can do to really heal up or anything, but I still got 61 banners for that. So, pretty good there. For the Karth team, I'll just go ahead and use the same counter I always do, just because it's nearly a guaranteed 60 banners. Got my first order, and it's just a plain vanilla Karth team, so pretty easy to work with. I like to try to stun Zalbar off the bat, get that 2-turn stun going, And then I got heavy damage on Mission, trying to get her out of there as quick as I can with Executioner and with Xylo's AoE attacks, because he's feeding turn meter to the team, which is important, but he's also modded for damage, so his attacks take off quite a bit. So if I can get her under health and Zalbar taunts to try to steal away the focus, but I can keep using the AoE attack with Xylo, and he'll be able to keep her under that 100% health until Executioner or somebody can go and finish her off. And you can see here that it's not happening the way it kind of normally does, where I can just focus her down and get her gone real quick. I'm stuck back and forth on dealing with Zalbar. So I'll throw the stun on him again. I've got the AoE from Xylo, so I'll use that. Now I have to use the Executioner to dispel the taunt on Juhani. And that makes Zalbar taunt, so it's like back and forth, back and forth. So I'm trying to decide what's the optimal route to go, and also not let anybody die, because I want to try and be efficient on here with my opponent saving so much for offense, trying to save banners where I can. Still got to work on Zalbar. Finally, I can switch over to Mission, take a chunk out of her, throw some turn meter back to Executioner, and there we go. Now she's gone. The battle gets a lot more manageable. So now I can work on taking out who I want to whenever I get an opening. And so I got Karth there. I can stun him. Have to go back to working on Zalbar, though, because of the taunt. But that's fine. It gives me time to buff up with my Stormtrooper. And throw another 2-turn stun on Zalbar. Try and work on Canderous a little bit, get him down. And it is kind of back and forth, but you'll see the AoE from Xylo knock Canderous down into the yellow. Still stuck on Zalbar's taunt. I keep using those AoEs, and now I got Canderous down into the red. Dispel Zalbar's taunt. Everybody's doing good, under 100% health, so I can start making progress. There went Canderous. Just take a hit on Karth, take him out of there. Now it's just Zalbar and Juhani, and I can use this time to stretch out a little bit, make sure that I top everybody off as best I can on health and protection. Work on taking out Juhani. And I always watch the cooldowns on Stormtroopers, his special, because that's what'll buff everybody up and help them heal some health and protection. So when I get the chance, I like to throw some turn meter his way with First Order Officer, if the opportunity presents. So like right here, throw it over to Stormtrooper and buff up. Now I just got to wrap up Juhani, take her out, and only got back up to 59, but, it was the best I could do, is what it is. So I just got the last zone left, and I let that sit for a while because my opponent, he hadn't gone yet, hadn't cleared off anything, and then all of a sudden he started attacking when I had just that zone left, and he got 1,600 points after clearing the first two zones. So he dropped one battle, and then everything else he got 60 points on. So I'm really curious how he did that. The only points he's missing is points for dropping a battle against my Night Sisters. He tried a battle, I guess it didn't work, and he forced quit because they didn't have turn meter loaded or any health or protection missing. So aside from that, here's me trying to take out his General Skywalker. Use my Darth Revan. I already used my Bastilla Fallen under my EP, so I don't have her. But it still works, at least with the G11 Skywalker. You can have Malik and Sith Trooper Marauder in there, and you can do enough damage to be able to take them out. I don't know if that's going to be true at the very top end once everything is Relic 7 and modded the way it should be. But for this, it does work. It's just a bit of a struggle. You can see that he's already killed a couple, and he's putting some work in on Malik. I recently took my Malik up to Relic level 7 just for situations like this. I like him to be as tanky as he can be so he can take a good beating, and last. I don't want him to die. So just got to work on him and take him out. 50 points, best I could do. If you guys have a better solution than that, let me know, because some more banner efficiency would be nice. That was a rough one. So here's his Grievous team, and he's got Wat in there. Makes it a little bit tougher. So what I decided to do is go ahead and focus down Wat first. That way I can get Wat out of the picture, and I don't have to worry about him throwing the extra techs. I have a feeling that those 2 extra techs would end up screwing things up, and I don't want Wat to revive any of the droids anyway. So focus down him, get him out of the picture, and then I can start working on the team. And since he did have the Zeta on Wat, the first tech goes out to the tank, which is Magna, and I'm stuck under a perma-taunting Magna Guard that I got to work on. There's, nothing else I can really do about that. Just keep throwing buffs around from Yoda, trying to give everyone foresight, trying to make sure people assist and get protection up, because I'm going to have to tank out a couple of AoE attacks from Grievous. I got to kill Magna Guard, and that's going to hurt, once Grievous does his AoE attack coming up right here. His Magna is pretty tanky. Finally got him down. So now I can go to work on the rest of the team, but I still haven't done any work on B2. So gotta work on him next. Can't focus down on Grievous till I get rid of B2. And so that's all I'm trying to do, just keep everybody alive. And it's a struggle. You can see they've eaten through all the bonus protection. So everybody's on, on their own now. I was able to get a direct focus going on B2. Now I'm just working on taking him out. Fortunately, his B2 was only gear 12. So he was able to do that General Skywalker event with a gear 12 B2. He didn't have to take him up to G13 Relic 3. So took out his B2 and it cost me. Luckily I was able to get back to Jolie and get his revive going on. Brought everybody back. Now I can work on Grievous. I don't want to take all of his protection away just so I have the option of hitting him if I need to. I don't want him to send Mark onto B1. I want to be able to alternate if I need to. Trying to get back to Revan's direct focus so that I can just, start taking him out. Once you can direct focus and do a bunch of heavy damage and reduce turn meter, anything you can do to take him out is a lot better than, him sitting there, because he's just one big move away from killing your whole team. And there was nothing I could do. I ended up having to kill B1. So Grievous is actually the last one that I'm taking out, which you really shouldn't do. Or I don't know, it's frowned upon. I guess that's not the way that people do it. But it's working for me. I mean, it sucks my Yoda's gone and he's the heavy damage dealer. But that's why I got Revan set up for damage too. In addition to going fast, he helps out with the damage, but he's gone too. Luckily, Jolie has his revive, brings them all back, spread some tenacity and foresight, got direct focus, so things are finally starting to fall into place. You can see how different it is having to deal with Wat on the team. Turns the whole flow of the battle different. So was able to beat that team, 56 banners. That's not a bad score for this team. Unfortunately, that was puts me 10 banners behind him. So I lost round 2. There ends my shot at Kyber for this go round. So for the next round, I guess I can experiment and have fun. But before I wrap this video up, let me show you my defenses. And you tell me what you would use to get 60 banners. He got 60 banners on every single squad, basically, and 56 banners on one squad. So let me show you those defenses, because I thought they were pretty tricky, but maybe I'm wrong. All right, we'll start off up top in the first section. I put Night Sisters with Baze as a pre-taunt, and then my own General Skywalker with clones. Even though he sucks, he's only got 1 Zeta, I figured he'd have to use at least something kind of decent to take him out. And the Night Sisters is where he dropped the 1 battle. Down south, I used a Karth team, but I put Stormtrooper Han as the lead, and then Nest in there with Vandor Chewie to help bring people back. I got my Geos in there, got Alpha to Relic 5, working on them. So a standard Geo team. In back, I got a Dooku-led Separatist team with Jango, Wat. I've got Zombie and Asajj in there. That one should take off quite a bit of banners. And then I just had a Zal team in there. And then down south, I got a Newt-led Separatist droid team, Sun Fac as the tank. And then my Bosk Bounty Hunter team with L3 as a taunt. And he was able to take all those out for basically 60 points apiece, or perfect banners, excluding, the one that he dropped a battle. He still got 40 points on that one. So let me know what you guys think. I'm curious as to what got used where, to take these squads out. I'd love to hear from you guys and see what your thoughts are. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.